Hi, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. If you live on Hilton Head Island or in Bluffton or anywhere in the surrounding area, reading the Bluffton Sun will keep your finger on the pulse. Publisher BJ Frazier and editor Lynne Hummell of the Bluffton Sun and Coastal Sport and Wellness, a WHHI-TV news partner, join us today to update us on local news, new business openings, and happenings in our Low Country community. Always a pleasure, BJ and Lynn.
Nice to see you.
So what's going on with the new Low Country Rum?
That's a fun story that we've got on the front page of the paper this week. There are two guys in Bluffton who, on a lazy afternoon floating on the May River, came up with this great idea that they wanted to create their own rum. Now, they said that they were no strangers to rum drinking, so they knew what they wanted, and they came up with an idea for a spirit created in the spirit of the Low Country. And the result is Pocataligo rum.
Pocataligo rum.
Right, and we should start hearing about that around the 1st of April, seeing it in local venues.
Wow.
These guys, Mitch Brown and Gavin Wright, they're in their 30s, and they created their own flavor by tasting some of their favorite flavors and blending rums that had already been produced, and had an idea of what they wanted the flavor to be, so they tried to create their own. And they said the first time they did it with things like grandma's molasses and brown sugar and yeast and distilled it, and it was undrinkable.
Yeah.
So they worked a little bit more and came up with the recipe, and now their recipe will be created in Barbados. And you know, there's a Bluffton Barbados connection from going back to the Lord's proprietors.
Oh.
And then it will be exported up to a distillery in Michigan, where it will be packaged and bottled, or bottled and packaged, and distributed from there.
Wonderful. Isn't that
Yeah.
fun?
That's
That's a
exciting.
fun
Yeah.
story.
It
That
is
is a fun story.
It is a fun story.
BJ, what do you think about the State of Bluffton report?
Well, Mayor Lisa Sulka last week gave the report, and she made it clear in no uncertain terms that Bluffton is going to be the economic driving center for Beaufort County and the region in the future. She hopes to see in the next 15 years the incubation that's now just beginning will develop into our future. And she's made it clear that Bluffton is open for business, just like the town council said at the recent conclave they had. And I think it's a very wise thing to do.
Right.
Tourism's great, but they want to be to business what Hilton Head is to tourism. And it's going to bring jobs and prosperity. So, very clear. A lot of.
It sounds very positive.
Absolutely.
Do they have a direction or some, I guess, a
the
roadmap for this?
The kickoff is the incubator, the innovation for center that's opening, I think in April, isn't it?
Yes.
And they have a new executive director they just hired at $65,000 a year, Joseph Berliner, and he's got a lot of experience. And so we're excited. I think it's going to be the roadmap to follow and the way to prosperity.
Wow, that sounds great. And I mean, I'm glad she's really promoting this because we need to, obviously we need to keep that
Diversity,
growth going.
that's right.
in our area.
Absolutely.
So then what about extended deadlines for student transfers? What's that about?
Well, there are some schools in the Beaufort County School District that have special programs, whether they're arts infused or mathematics or technology infused specialty schools, and the students throughout the county can transfer to any of those schools if it's not offered in their zoned school. So they had a deadline, I believe it was the end of or the middle of March, and they've extended that until April the 6th to give everybody an opportunity to sort of explore what's available out there that might not be available in your school, whether it's Montessori or like I said, the arts or technology. In the different schools, there's the early college school at Whale Branch, and if people from Hilton Head wanted to go there, for instance,
right,
then they could transfer.
So if they if they're not sure if they can, or they just need the information to whether or not what's doable,
Right.
what's not doable,
available.
and exactly how to do it, where do they go for that?
The best place is probably the county website, which is beaufort.k12.sc.us.
Okay,
That's
so
impressive. You remembered that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Also,
I'm a good reporter.
There you go.
Yes.
It's also in the Sun this week.
It is
as
in the
well.
Sun.
Right.
I figured
Absolutely.
you had it in the
course.
Sun.
Yeah.
So how is the Beaufort County Treasurer doing so far?
Well, he was elected on a landslide to bring some efficiency and accountability to the Treasurer's Department, and he's certainly done that. Not only has he improved the efficiency and customer service, but he also has slashed the budget so far for that department by $158,000 so far this fiscal year.
Right.
And he's done it by, he's cut back on advertising because he did the early payment program whereby he forgave any penalties and a lot of money came in. They didn't have to advertise it, which we didn't like too much, but it's good.
Yeah.
Cut back on unnecessary overtime, unnecessary legal expense. He's run a very tight ship, and we should all be grateful for that.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think we should send him to Washington.
Yeah. They said they're looking for a new candidate for the Republican
Absolutely.
Party. So
We'll see how it goes.
they said some fresh blood might help.
Right.
Sounds good.
Are there any new businesses that have opened in Bluffton area? You got Kick and Chicken, I think.
Yeah,
is,
Kick and Chicken just had their grand opening.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there are some a new hair salon in the Promenade called Salon Karma. Seems like every other day we stumble upon
something new going on.
Yeah,
huh?
it's great. It's exciting.
It is exciting. It
Good.
is exciting. So, anything else new that our viewers might want to know about? How the finish of the project, the housing project there in Bluffton? Is everything on
I took
track?
a tour of the May River Apartments.
Okay.
They are affordable rental apartments, unlike the Wharf Street project.
Okay.
And they are absolutely fabulous.
Are they ready for?
They're ready now
Okay.
for applications, and
Okay.
again, you can go to the Town of Bluffton website,
Okay.
and you can apply. And I think you could get like a 2-bedroom apartment for about $700.
Wow.
If you qualify with the
Yeah.
income levels and so forth.
Yeah.
It's just a great opportunity for people
Yeah.
to
And
get into wonderful housing.
Yeah, and in the Bluffton area, that's awesome.
Yeah. Right.
Well, thank you both so much for all the news. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to hear the rest when you come back next time.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And we thank you, and we'll see you in just a minute back on Talk of the Town.